Come on in the building. We got a powerful show. We are now live. Brother Jay Rich is going to be getting it in. Fixing the issues between the black woman and the black man. We got a powerful show. Welcome to the Real Truth and Power Live podcast. We got another phenomenal show. So before I get it in, let's play the intro. So I got my brother Jay Rich on here with me. You there, brother Jay Rich? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, man. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings to you, my brother. I wanted to try to play this video before you got in. And it's about this guy. His name is Minister Jack. And I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's going in a lot about black women in general. So I'm going to try to play that video while people are coming into the building. And, oh, man, he's disrespecting the black woman. So let me see if I can get that video. Hold tight, my brother.
I think we got to do a live show about the nature of the black woman, man. She's selfish. All of the moves she makes in life is to benefit her. You know what I'm saying? Black woman wouldn't die for her people, die for her country, die for her kids. She'll kill her kids before she dies for them. If I of a single mother who got her titties and her booty done, that should let you know that you don't love your kid. You only love dick and cheap liquor. And the nature of you is the reason why you made that choice so willingly, because that's your fucking nature, to be selfish whore. Soon as you play Cash Money and take it over in front of start shaking, it don't matter. You hoes that twerk at church. You hoes that twerk at funeral. You hoes that twerk at a graduation. You hoes that twerk in the doctor's office, the abortion clinic. We have to tame these women and go against their natural nature, just like you would a dog, a doggy. You have to train that dog so that that dog don't piss his shit on the carpet. And the way that you train that dog is when it pisses and shits on the carpet, you.
So Jay Rich, I'm gonna play that again because I think we got some feedback. So I'm gonna play that video again. All right. Hold on one second. Do me a favor, turn your phone down real quick. I'm getting some feedback. I want to make sure we get this brother in because he tripping. All right, no, you good. Here we go.
I think we got to do a live show about the nature of the black woman, man. She's selfish. All of the moves she makes in life is to benefit her. You know what I'm saying? Black woman wouldn't die for her people, die for her country, die for her kids. She'll kill her kids before she dies for them. If I of a single mother who got her titties and her booty done, that should let you know that you don't love your kid. You only love dick and cheap liquor. And the nature of you is the reason why you made that choice so willingly. Because
listen to how he's talking
nature,
about the black woman.
Selfish whore. Soon as you play Cash Money and take it over in front of start shaking, it don't matter. You hoes that twerk at church. You hoes that twerk at funeral. You hoes that twerk at a graduation. You hoes that twerk in the doctor's office, the abortion clinic. We have to tame these women and go against their natural nature, just like you would a dog, a daddy. You have to train that dog so that that dog don't piss and shit on the carpet. And the way that you train that dog is when it pisses and shits on the carpet, you take that dog's nose and you push it into the shit. And that's what we doing. We pushing y'all face into y'all shit because we gotta tame y'all just like a wild dog. And you gotta get trained. A lot of y'all hoes don't even have the basics. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even have the basics. You should feel ashamed that white women clutch their purse when you around. Mexican women clutch their purse when you're around. Like, damn. Y'all have turned into the stereotypical black man. Y'all frighten people when you come around. And no man had to coach you to do that, ask you to do that. You wanted to do that. You made that choice. It's your brother, man, Minister Jack, man.
That you're also.
Now I'm going to play a female giving it back to the brother. So we want to talk about this because this brother's serious. He has over 40,000 followers. 40,000 followers. You know, and he's growing. And a lot of people, including women, agree with this brother. But I'm going to play a lady, and that was Brother Minister Jack, for those that want to check out his YouTube. But now I'm going to play a lady. Her name is The Real Dane, and she calls out the black man. So we're going to talk about it. Let me play her.
Responsible for your child, whether you're married to that woman or not. You're also responsible to.
I think we got to do a live show about the nature of the black
Hold on,
woman,
let me get to her.
Pose and twerk at on the carpet. Just
for your child, whether you're married to that woman or not. You're also responsible to.
All right, so that wasn't the one. Let me see if I got the one when the sister goes in on her. I think this is it, but let me see. Hold up.
I think we got to do a live show about the nature of the black woman, man. Y'all frighten people when you come around. And no man had to coach you to do that, ask you to do that. You wanted to do that. You made that choice. It's your brother, man, Minister Jack, man.
That you're also responsible for your child.
So for some reason, the sister didn't play, brother. But I want to go in. This brother made some crazy statements. He went hard on the black woman, you know. And the sister, since she wasn't able to defend herself, the sister said something very powerful. She said, "You chose to pick the women that you lay down with." She said, "You chose that." And all of a sudden, the black man runs. Whenever he decided to lay down with the woman, he didn't think of how the woman would be. Had a baby, and then he didn't want to deal with it, so he runs off. You know what I'm saying? She also talked about how the black man is a punk, how he doesn't stand up for the black woman, how we are not strong enough for them. So I wanted to go into that and get your opinion on it. And also, you know, you talk about the black relationship in general.
Wow, man. Both of these things are very sad, man. And it seems that there's a lot of people in our community, man, that could really use counseling, man. Seriously, use counseling. Before we even get into the relationship part of it, man, we have to look at the dynamic of self and how we're raising our children. You know what I mean? These people and these issues and these views didn't come about yesterday. You know what I mean? These views of women, these views of men were formed 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? They weren't formed in the last 5 years. They weren't formed in the last relationship that these people were in. These views were formed as a child and growing up as a child. We have a situation whereas a lot of black children are not raised in homes that see a healthy relationship between a black man and a black woman. So when I say that these things started years ago, they started years ago, generations ago. And when you take that dynamic away, and then when you're put into a position to be a parent, you know what I mean, a coexisting parent, a cohesive family, you don't know how. Sometimes people, you don't know how. You may want to. You may want to be like with this woman. She may want to be with you, but you don't know how to be with each other, because maybe you were raised in a home where it was just negativity. Maybe you were raised in a home where the woman was in charge. Maybe you were raised in a home where the man was abusive. You know, so the only thing you know how to be as a man is abusive. Only thing you know how to be as a woman is controlling. Because these are the things that you have seen, and this is the type of relationship that you have grown up in. This is what you're used to. So when you meet with that other person, and both of you have like childhood traumas that you haven't gotten over and that you haven't gotten help for, you try to raise a child and you both are suffering from your traumas, that child suffers from the same trauma. And then they grow up, and then they so on and so forth. I tell you, the one thing that I mean of the generation, I guess that would be either our kids or more or less, you know what I mean? I get a little too old to be our grandkids and a little too young to be our children at this point. But just self-respect and the respect of others is missing. It's absolutely gone. I see that a lot of our youth suffer from self-esteem. Even ones that try to, you know what I mean, put on this mask that shows, you know what I mean, oh no, I'm strong, I can do whatever, I can do it all, you know, ain't nobody gonna punk me, ain't nobody gonna get over on me in the relationship, ain't nobody gonna do this thing. That's fear. All that's fear. And when you bring that fear, you bring mistrust, you bring those traumas, you bring all of that into a relationship, you're gonna have problems. Unfortunately, I didn't get to hear the young lady speak, but she's right. You choose who you lay down with.
No, I was saying go in. I'm gonna try to pull it in. So let me ask you this.
You choose who you lay down with, and you choose who you. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: the way that brother is thinking, I mean, and he's serious. He has tons and tons of videos. If you are just tuning in, his name is Minister Jack. He's from Chicago, and he got tons of videos, and he's just demoralizing the black woman like you ain't nothing. You know, this is why I'm single. I mean, I think one party went in there like, he was saying you're taking the place of the black man when white women and white men cross the street because they scared to deal with you. Go into that. Do you think the black woman is more over the top, or is that her strong pride that makes her like that?
I think that he is dealing with a certain and the women that have crossed his path. He is dealing with a certain type of women, and it's our own personality, it's our own personal traits that attract certain people in our circle. So if the only woman that you know is nasty and what do you say, twerking at church, twerking at funerals, you know, if that's the only type of black woman that you see, maybe you need to change your circle. You know, I mean, it's real simple. Maybe you need to change your circle. It's something that I've never experienced. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he's experienced, but his mother's black, isn't she? His grandmother's black, isn't she? Is those that type of that he displays?
Let me not to cut you off. Let me try to play a clip from the sister again. I'm gonna play a couple of clips from the sister. Let me see if I can.
I think we ought to do a live show about the nature of the black woman, man. She's selfish. All of the moves she makes.
And roof over your head, I'm responsible for you. That matter? Then I'm gonna say yes. You can speak that.
Yes. Okay, you said yes to that. You're also responsible for your child, whether you're married to that woman or not. You're also responsible to co-parent whether you're married or not married. Now, let's just go back for a second, because you said that, you know, men.
Am I responsible for you running around here wearing weed, running around here?
If you wait, and see, again, if you are daddy, if you are husband, and I'm going to bring that back to what you said earlier about
why you couldn't call on the regular phone,
some friends to where they're paying child support, and she's black men and women were lynched, were murdered, and black women were raped for doing what? For what? For bad behavior? No, because the white man knew he could do it.
Right.
You had no nothing. So let's forward it now to 2019. Nothing had changed. But the sad part, and I need for us to focus on this. The sad part is black men like yourself, because a whole lot of y'all like that think like you are giving that white man a pass and not putting your foot in their ass, not just physically, but everywhere else. But you want to blame the white woman. You keep saying we won't let you. Keep asking for permission to leave your house, to leave your community. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on why are we the only culture to where men is not a strong presence in their community.
Let's deal with that.
Why do you keep saying they won't let us? Why do you feel that you need permission from me, from black women, from whitey, from whoever to do the job you were born to do?
That's a good damn question there.
But the problem is, you have to understand why the fuck do they feel comfortable doing that shit? Because they know your ass won't do nothing. Let me go to my notes real quick. The black woman is disrespected because our black men have abandoned us. As soon as things get rough, they leave. Leaving a woman to carry the whole burden. Who does she turn to? She didn't have no man. She fought 911. She should have. But that white man, because of white supremacy, as always here in America, ruled over her at that moment. He had a gun. He was bigger. He was stronger. And he whooped her ass. So how can you? And he.
So they were going at it in an intense fashion, brother. They were going at it in an intense fashion. What do you have to say about some of the things the sister was saying?
Again, it goes right back to what she said. Not only does the male choose who he lays down with, the female chooses who she lays down with. And you have like these children. There's a phenomenon. Oh man, we were just having fun. You know what I mean? We were just doing this. We was just doing that. You know. But you don't think about the long-term effect, you know what I mean, of having unprotected sex. And then when a child is brought into like an existence, all of a sudden the whole dynamic changes, and you want to look. Now you're looking at this guy like, oh, he's not a provider, or he's not this, or he's not that. But you knew that when you laid down with. When she's at the club and she's drinking and she's smoking and she wants to get her boobs done and she wants to get this done and so on and so forth. You knew that when you lay down. You knew exactly who she was when you lay down with. You knew who he was. You know what I mean? And both of you still, you know what I mean, decided as adults to go ahead and form that relationship. So once that came out, now the child is involved, and now you both have to make a change for the better of that child. All of a sudden, you both become selfish. It's not that, you know what I mean, this person over here is doing this or this person over here is doing that. And sometimes that does happen. Sometimes, you know, in most cases, you have where the woman has to mature. She has to mature much faster than the father because she's the one that's actually carrying the child. So at some point, there's some resentment because he can still drink. He can still go party. He can still smoke. You know what I mean? You got all these restrictions on you because you have a life inside. So women mature faster than men anyway. So in this situation now, you know what I mean? The responsibility is on her much greater because she is not only caring for another life, she has another life form inside of her. And when she doesn't see that dedication coming from the male, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, such and such, my cousin, you know what I mean? He, you know, she with this dude and that's all he do, and this person like that and this person like that. Then it goes right back to what I said before. Maybe you need to change your circle. Because if these are the type of people that you are attracting, you know what I mean, to come back and start lashing out at other people and, man, you know what I mean, making these general statements about each other, I think, man, that is very detrimental to us as a people as a whole. You know what I mean? But then when it goes right back to therapy, man. You know what I mean? I think that's for whatever reason, that just seems to be, you know what I mean, a no-go, you know what I mean, in the community, you know what I mean? Like, oh, man, y'all need to go to counseling, man. Y'all need counseling. No, man, I'm not doing that.
Well, let me ask you, brother, how did we get, as black men and black women, how did we get to this point? How did we get to where, I mean, this brother's going in. He's calling all black women hood rats. He's saying they're irresponsible. He's saying every time you play Cash Money, you twerking. You twerking in a club. You twerking in a grocery mart. I think he said you twerking in an abortion center. I mean, this brother was ignorant, and he got a following. How do we get to this point? And then I'm going to take a call, 9835. You'll be next. But how do we get to this point? You there, brother J. Rich?
Bye. We got to this point through low self-esteem. That's how we got to this point. Through low self-esteem and the need for attention is how we got to this point. The women, you know what I mean? Some women feel, because, I mean, it's in the videos. It's in the music. It's in the movies. It's in it's on the television. It's in the newspaper ads. It's in the clothing ads. You know what I mean? This is how you should be. This is how you should act. So on and so forth. You know. But then when you show people of other cultures that their women are covered, they don't. You know what I mean? They don't present themselves the same way. Oh, that's bland. You know what I mean? You've been psychologically trained, conditioned to believe that this is how you should act. And men on the same hand, you know what I mean? This is how you should act. You know what I mean? You should be extra macho. You should be this. You should be that. And like the woman said, but then when it's time for you to come and defend yourself, you know what I mean, or defend like your family, all of a sudden it's like, let's talk about it. But if she comes at you and she says something the wrong way, you'll put your hands on her. One that you claim to love, you'll put your hands on her. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to take a caller real quick, brother J. Rich. Hold on 1 second. 9835, you are in the building. 9835, welcome to Real Truth and Power Live. Are you there, caller?
Yes, I am. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you for calling. First of all, did you see the first video with the brother going in on the black sisters?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And did you see the second video of the sister going back at the brother?
Yes, I did.
That's terrible. Now, let me ask you before you begin talking, are you married or single, my brother?
I'm single.
Okay. Now, go in. What did you feel about those videos?
I felt as though both of them just have a little bit of issues with themselves. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody has issues. Everybody has problems. So you can't just say all black women and all black men are problems. Women had to be strong because men wasn't there. Men. Now we're trying to come back and be in the women's life, but the women had to be strong, and we can't handle it. A lot of men look at it as though that they're taking over the men's position, but a lot of women had to.
Now stay on, caller. Brother J. Rich, you want to respond to the caller?
When you say that the women are strong and the men can't handle it, what do you mean? How are they displaying their strength that the men can't handle?
When I say when they insert themselves, a lot of women are business. It's a lot of women going to college. I see a lot of more. It's more women going to college, getting educated, getting more knowledge. Well, not knowledge. I won't say knowledge, but they're going to college more. They're getting more education, getting more other jobs, bigger jobs in the black community. And the men are looking at, and I say a lot of men are looking at it as though they are taking over the men's position. And also women. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm listening, bro.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's what I was wanting to say. They look at it as though that they can't. I was about to say something.
Yeah, we got there's a slight lag in there, and I'll apologize for that. But I just wanted to, because I've been researching this, and what you're saying is a lot of things that a lot of black women are complaining, saying that men are intimidated by the women's strength. So I just wanted to get an idea of what you thought, you know what I mean, was them being strong, because as a man, you know what I mean, you should want a strong woman by your side. As a man, you want a woman that. And like my mother always said to me, you know what I mean? It's not what people say to you, but how they say it. You know what I mean? For someone to come and correct you when you're wrong, you know what I mean? That's all well and good. But it's the way that they come and correct you, you know what I mean? That sometimes causes problems. Hey man, I don't know any intelligent man that wants to succeed, not only in his own personal life, his family life, and his business life, that doesn't want a strong, intelligent woman there to help him.
Absolutely. I agree.
Now,
I agree.
Now
let me talk about a lot of men. With me, it's not that way. With me, it's just with me, I just haven't found the right one. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of women that I'm a little older now, so a lot of women are like set in their ways.
Yeah.
So
now let me ask you this, caller. Have you had issues with the stereotype of black women? Is that why you're single? Because the brother did talk a lot about the stereotypes of the black woman being too strong, trying to do the man's job.
No, not for me.
Okay. You just feel like you
not for me.
You just feel like you haven't had the right one.
I haven't found the right one, and I've been single for a long time, and I just got comfortable.
Well, let me keep you on real quick, caller. Let me keep you on real quick. I'm going to ask you first, Jay Rich, and then I'm going to ask the caller. How do you think that we can start building a relationship between the black men and women back together? And do we need certain roles?
Everybody has a role, man, no matter what it is. We always have to have a role, but it comes down to a point where you and your partner have to define what role each of you are going to play. And you have to understand that sometimes you got to do a little bit of hers. Sometimes she got to do a little bit of yours. You have to be able to work together cohesively, you know. But before you even, like this brother said, like, hey, man, I've been single for a long time, man. I just got comfortable. Before you can even start talking about building a relationship with somebody else, we have to start to look at the interpersonal behavior relationship that we have with ourselves. What is it that we're doing that causes this woman to act this way? Because I'm quite sure, we've all dated. And we've all, you know what I mean, got out of one bad relationship right back into seems like the same type of relationship. And you have to stop and ask yourself, what is it about my that's doing this? You know? And if you can't ask yourself what it is that I'm doing, then you can't honestly look at somebody else and be like, you need to change.
Go ahead, respond to that, caller. What are your thoughts on that?
He's absolutely right. You have to look into yourself before you can go into somebody else. With me, it was more of I wasn't ready when I was younger. I wasn't ready. I had a lot of issues going on, a lot of issues. So it was like women they didn't want to deal with me at that time. I kept going in and out of relationships, so it wasn't working. So until I looked into myself, and I'm comfortable now. So now it's like, he's right. He's absolutely right. You got to look into yourself.
Now, both of that. Let me ask you guys about what the lady was saying when she was saying pretty much that the black man hasn't been standing up on his own 2 feet. He's been acting like a punk pretty much. He's not fighting for his woman. He's not fighting for the black woman. He's not, he's not defending her. He's pretty much a chump in a lot of ways. I'm going to let you go first, caller. What do you say about that?
It used to be that way, but I see a lot of men now trying to stand up. It used to be a lot of men walking away when a woman say, I'm pregnant. They say, I don't want it. I don't have time for it. But now as I look back, now that I see more men now standing up, trying to be a father, trying to be there for their woman. I see that now. I see a lot of the women are using kids as pawns. So the men try and they get pushed out.
Brother Jay Rich, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me ask you before I let the caller go. The caller's a single person. How does he court a woman when she doesn't have any respect for him? How does he go about, becoming, trying to look for a woman? He said he's older. I'm assuming he's probably around our age, at least in his 30s to 40s. How does he go about courting a woman? Where does he go? What type of woman should he try to approach? If, like that brother saying, all he's saying is thoughts for the most part. How do we break that stereotype? Because you can't go from what I'm saying, you can't go to a club and get a woman. You can't pull a woman at a bar. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going off of that. So what do you say?
I mean, if you want something different, you got to do something different. So if, you know what I mean, the type of woman that you were getting before, you were getting at the bar, you were getting at the club, go to the bookstore, pull up on somebody at the grocery store. You know what I mean? Do something that, once you change who you are, then it's going to change the type of person that's attracted to you. Because, women are very good. You know what I mean? There's certain people, you know what I mean? There's some men, you know what I mean? They're very good at reading people, but women are very good at reading men. You know what I mean? From their body language and all of this other stuff. Women are very good at reading men. You know what I mean? So they're already attracted to you once they see you, if you know what I mean, if you're a certain type of way. For me, man, the best thing to do, don't even worry about it. She'll come to you. Keep doing what you're doing. She'll come to you.
All right, caller, you got any final thoughts you want to say before we let you go?
No, he's absolutely right. You just got to do you, and they will come to you. Just go with your normal routine, and the woman will come to you. It's not, once you force it, it's not meant to be.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for calling, caller, and have a blessed day.
Absolutely. Have a blessed one.
All right, Jay Rich, that caller spent, he said a lot of some deep stuff about his own personal relationship. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was very honest and passionate by the caller. I want to go back to the lady, Real Dana, though, because it was a part of the clip, and I guess my video didn't play correctly, but it was a part of the clip where the brother pretty much was saying that, fall in your place. He mentioned that you got to tame the woman, like she's a dog. He said you need to grab her face. Like, you remember you heard that? He said, brothers, you need to grab the face and train her. What do you say about that? Because we want to talk about roles in a home for the black man and the black woman. Because I believe there's a narrative that's saying that black men are taking care of their kids, but the narrative that black men and black women are being in a home together, I can't fight for that when I don't see it. What do you say about what the brother was saying about how the brothers need to, start disciplining the black woman?
You can't discipline someone with discipline that you don't have for yourself. Hey man, all of this, man, it always comes back to you. And the fact that you think that if the only way that you can be in a relationship with a woman is if you're controlling her, then man, you'll never, you know what I mean? You'll find a relationship. You'll find a bunch of them. I mean, because there's some weak people out there. But at the end of the day, you're the weakest one. If you have to assert so much power over someone that you feel as though you got to train them, you got to hold, you know what I mean? You have to do all of these things, then just be by yourself, man. Learn to control you, man. Learn to control your own little desires and everything else. Because if you're going to enter into a relationship, the foundation has to be trust. The foundation has to be communication. Once you move past communication, there has to be a level of trust. And if you can communicate with that person what it is that you're looking for, and you can provide what they're looking for, and she can communicate to you what she's looking for, and she's willing to provide what you need, and you're willing to provide what she's need, where does the control come in? If you can't provide what each other needs, then find another relationship. There are over what is like 3 billion people in the world. People kill me, man. They get, you know what I mean? Like, oh no, this is the one. This is the one. Yeah, this is 1 out of a billion.
Well, let me ask you this. I got a statement. Former Baltimore Raven, former Hall of Famer, Denver Bronco, tight end Shannon Shaw. He's on a popular show. He was this was Skip Bayless, the sports show.
Yeah.
He was also on the I forgot the name of the Up in Smoke podcast. And he mentioned something about, he said, you know, at his age, he's looking for, you know, relationships are like a business. He said he's looking for a business partner. He's not looking to be an investor. You know, he needs somebody who's going to meet him halfway. Talk about that. How do you feel about relationships as far as, is it more about business or is it more about love?
I guess that all depends on the person, man. You know what I mean? You have a lot of people, man, that you have to realize that some of these rich and famous and people that you have never even heard of that are multimillionaires, that are billionaires, they marry because of mergers and companies, man. These are not only marriages, man. These are business contracts. You know what I mean? That's very real. You know, so for him to say like, hey, man, man, I'm looking at it more like of a business means like, hey, I'm paid. I'm retired. I got a steady income coming in. You know what I mean? I'm making money over here. I need you to come in, you know what I mean, with some stacks. I need you to come in with some stacks. I need you to come in with some fresh business ideas. I need you to come in with some revenue. Yeah, man, we can fall in love in a couple of years, but right now we need to fall into some real finances. We need to fall into building something. You know what I mean? It's all depending on what you're looking for, man. You know, people who women marry for money all the time, man. So do men. You know, I can't knock the hustle. He up front with it, and it goes right back to what I said: communication. He right up front with it, so you already know what you're getting into. You know?
Yeah, man. So, what would you say to that brother? And we're about to close, but 877-944-8020 if anyone wants to be heard before we close out. What would you say to that brother? I know you said about counseling, but he represents a lot of brothers now. Like I said, man, he has his own page. He's been on lots of multiple shows. And the key that gets me is women are agreeing with the brother. Women are agreeing with the brother. So that lets me know we are off by a wide range. What would you say to that brother to try to bring him back into loving and respecting the Black Queen?
My man, do you see the type of following that Donald Trump has and the nonsense that this dude spews all the time? Come on, man. And this, you know what I mean? Let's be real. The amount of people that follow you and listen to you does not, you know what I mean, equate to intelligence or even, you know what I mean, fruitful leadership. And for this guy to be a reverend and people are going to his church, this dude a true pastor?
No. He's not a pastor. He just that's what he calls himself. That's what he calls himself.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, man, this dude church got to be off the hook because he's probably, you know what I mean, throwing ones at these chicks that are twerking in his church. Come on, man, stop. You know, like I said before, you know what I mean? Like personally, like I said, like you and I both said, isn't his mother black? Aren't his aunts black? His daughter black? His grandmother black? You know what I mean? Is this the things that they were doing? You know, like change your environment. You can't keep going to, you know what I mean? If this is what they're doing in this church and you continue to go, that's on you. You can't blame the people for doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? If you're supporting it. If this is what you see when you go to the club, stop going to the club. Go somewhere else. Go to a bookstore. You know what I mean? Go to an art gallery. Go, you know what I mean? Go to the museum. Go somewhere else to meet somebody that is a little more cultured. You know, next time go to a book reading. You go when your favorite artist is opening up in the museum, go and look at their artwork and then look and see who else enjoys that artwork and talk to them. You know, don't keep going to the same places, looking at the same women in the same type of attitude and expecting something different. That doesn't make any sense.
Now, clearly, like as you can see, clearly that brother, he's messing with a certain kind of woman. And again, shout out to brother Minister Jap out in Chicago, but he may need to, you know, go into a different mind state. But what do you say to that sister who's saying that she feels like the black man isn't, you know, isn't strong enough pretty much right now? Because that's deep too. Because and let me say something. He said something about the black woman trying to be the black man, and she's saying he's not strong enough. That right there is an issue. Wouldn't you agree?
Hey man, you and I both, man, especially in like the area that we live in, man. You think about how many young black women that we pass by, that we pass by, and they do every single thing it seems like they can do to change their appearance to appear to be a black man. That's real. Yeah. You know what I mean? This isn't some type of myth. That's real. When you're talking about, you know what I mean, she's pulling up on other black women. You know what I mean? She jumping out the car, got her pants sagging, she trying to thug. You know what I mean? She doing all of these things or whatever. She's trying to take on every characteristic of the black man. That's very real. But on the flip side, we also got a bunch of men that run around here to try to take on characteristics of black women. That's very real. And to me, it goes right back to, man, you need to start, first of all, accepting who you are. You know what I mean? Define what role it is that you want to be in and then be in it, you know? I know right now we're living in a society and we're living in a time where like this younger generation is coming up and they're trying to do away with roles. Oh, you know what I mean? There are no more roles, there are no more labels, there are no more this, there are no more that. That's nonsense. That's absolute nonsense. Because if you enter into a relationship and nobody has a defined role, nobody knows what anybody is doing, then neither one of you are doing anything. You know what I mean? You're not growing. You're not growing. In order for a tree to grow, the roots have to take in the water, you know? The roots have to take in the water. The leaves have to take in the sunshine. You know, everybody has a role. You know what I mean? If the leaves didn't know what they were supposed to be doing, the roots didn't know what they were supposed to be doing, you ain't going to have no tree. If you don't, and to the brother and to the sister both, if they have children, I wonder what they're teaching their children. Are you point blank? Me and my son, this is some years ago, we went down to Dollar General. So we get out and we're walking. You know, I think he was about 13, 14 years old. We're walking. And these females, they're walking in. One of them looked like she just got on pajamas. It's like 5, 6 o'clock in the evening or whatever. And she looked like she just rolled out of bed, you know, got on house shoes. She looked like she got on pajamas. Somebody else got on something. They just, you know what I mean? Like I said, man, all of them look like they just woke up a half an hour ago, rolled out of bed and just went straight to the store. I told him, I was like, man, if you ever bring anything like that home, don't ever bring anything like that home. I sat down with my daughter and I told her, like, no man should ever put his hands on you. If he, you know, he should be working. He should be doing this. He should be doing this. He should be doing this. I told my son, she needs to be doing this. She needs to be doing this. If that woman wants to see stronger men, she needs to raise stronger sons and nephews. If that man wants stronger women or a different type of woman, he needs to raise better daughters.
Yeah, man, it's definitely an issue we got to tackle. before I let you go, do you think it's an issue with young parenting? With a lot of the young parents nowadays, back then, even if we had young parents, it seemed that, grandmothers was raising us and stuff like that. But now it's younger parents, younger grandparents, a lot more single parents, and then the divisiveness between the black man and the black woman. That's a deep thing that we overcoming. What do you think about that?
I think that a lot of times these young kids feel as though, and I'm not going to downgrade and tell them like, oh, you just think that you're in love. They don't know how to handle love. They don't know how to love. And that goes back to what I said before, because these are relationships that you're not used to seeing. These are relationships that, you know what I mean, they're not, you don't see these type of relationships in your music videos. You don't see these type of relationships in black movies. You don't see these type of relationships in black shows. You know what I mean? You don't see these type of relationships in your own home, your aunt's home, your grandmother's home, your uncle's home, your father's home. So once you get into a relationship, you don't know what to do, So you're with this, and correct me if I'm wrong. You're in a relationship with this young man. This young man has absolutely no direction. You have direction. You have a job. You're going to work and you're doing this, and he's like, "Oh, why don't you buy me these Jordans?" You out and buying Jordans because you think that you love him, and this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take care of him. You know what I mean? And the moment that he gets money, he goes and buys weed and smokes with his boys. Or he's sitting around playing, video games all day. You go over to his mother's house in the basement and watch him play video games. This is love. This is your relationship. He gets mad, he hits you. You know what I mean? A male in your family says like, "Nah, I'm gonna go over that joke and I'm gonna handle this dude." Oh no, don't do that, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. And you're thinking to yourself how this woman is saying like, "Oh man, the black man doesn't stand up for the black woman." A lot of times the black man does want to stand up for the black woman. A lot of times men, naturally, we want to solve your problems. We want to solve your problem. We're problem solvers. Like, you ain't got to talk me to what's the problem? Okay, this is what we need to do. A lot of times they don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother issue. We want to solve your problems. We want to come and protect you. But when we put that foot out there and we try to go and do something to try to help you and try to resolve it, and you're like, "Oh no, don't do this, don't do that." And now you're protecting the abuser. All of a sudden, something inside you turns off and be like, "Hey man, all right, whatever then." You know what I mean? Flip side. You know what I mean? He's doing everything that he can for like this woman, and she still got to go to the club. She still got to hang out with her friends. She's still coming home drunk, so on and so forth. And you're just like, what I mean? Why I can't find a good woman? And she's like, why I can't find a good man? And it all starts in your childhood. It all starts with that childhood trauma that you need to go and get help for, and then go to somewhere else, do something different to attract a different type of person. Change your circle. Because sometimes it's your friends that are around you that make it toxic.
Aniri Mosley, I hope I pronounced your name right. Who is Pastor Troy? It looks like the pastor trying to control women, maybe, brother. I'm not sure, but we got a couple minutes. You're welcome to call in about it, but I don't know who Pastor Troy is. But it looks like Pastor Troy is out there a little bit. But yeah, brother, that was a deep conversation. I know we wanted to talk about another topic I want to bring you back in on, and that was the business ventures. So the next time you're free, I want to bring you back on that, what we was talking about early in the week. But when I saw that video of Minister Jap, I was just like, this brother. And then I saw the sister, and I'm thinking if they both feel in this way, then we really got some issues in our community that we really got to deal with. You know what I mean? And that's what really bothered me the most, that I just really wanted to talk about. Because this brother, people agree with this brother. And it may not be, like you say, it may not be me or you, but all he has to do is influence another young brother, and then, we out the door. You talking about one brother and another brother, and then it's a constant beef. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant beef. Oh, Minister Jack.
Yeah, Let me ask you a question, man. Let me ask you a question because I think that I think you're a phenomenal fan, this man. Is this the situation that you have ever seen your daughters in? How would you guide them if they came across a brother like this?
All right, you broke up. I heard you say came across a brother like this.
How would you guide your daughters, or what advice would you give your daughters if they came across something like this?
What would I advise my daughters to do if they came across a person like this? Well, one thing, that brother's dangerous because he seems very disrespectful. So right then and there, we're going to have to talk about how you deal with disrespectful men. Because he may see it and just say, nigga, this thought or something like that, this hoe. He said so many hoes and bitches and thoughts all in that 2-minute video. So you got to teach him how to deal with ignorance. You got to teach him how to be strong. But more importantly, you got to teach him what to look for in a man. You know what I'm saying? I'll often tell my daughters, if he's not worth bringing him home, don't bring him home. You know what I mean? When you bring him home, it should be serious. You know what I mean? And, you know, I try to ask for them to look for someone that's like me. Not perfect, but trying. It's a strong black man that's going to protect you, support you, and that's going to work with you so you can support each other. But this brother is it's something, man. I'm sure he gets into a lot of issues with women. I mean,
Oh, sure.
the brother said a lot, but in return, you know, with a lot of brothers thinking like that, I also have to condition their minds to trust the black man, to understand that no man is perfect, that the black man is up against a lot. He has a lot of struggles that he has to overcome, and he needs a strong woman, not maybe to lead him, but to be by his side, to help him lead and help him be strong. And I think that's where it's lost. I don't think, you know, a leader is so, unquote, the boss. You know, a woman can lead in her way and a man can lead in her way. You know, I got into, it was something going on Facebook, and a sister was going at, it was about, in reference to a video we did about 5G. And shout out to brother Masai Fit, who did a phenomenal presentation. And the sister kept going on and on. She was going on. And at one point I said, yeah, okay, I can't even argue with you like that because you are a sister. I need to argue with your husband or your boyfriend or let you be, because we're getting to a disrespectful point. And out of respect for you as a black woman and me as a man, we shouldn't even be in this kind of disagreement. You know, so it's kind of learning how to respect each other too. And so, you know, I don't see that. And like you said, it's the music, you know, the music that they listening to now that we grew up to was listening to something different. You know, it's a lot of different things that's going on that, you know, that's hurting our community. So I don't know how or, you know, where to begin. I would just hope that in some way that she just, you know, understands to ignore ignorance and be strong and beautiful in her own way. And that's for all four of them.
Yeah. I think you said something very powerful there, man, is that we have to learn how to disagree without being disrespectful.
Right.
You don't have to, you know what I mean, disrespect somebody or even put them down. And again, that just shows you that, you know what I mean, the maturity level of that person. If you and I can sit here and have a conversation and disagree about everything about the conversation, but still not bring it down to a level where we're calling each other names, where we're cussing each other out. We just understand that we just have different viewpoints. And if you can bring that into a relationship, that listen, man, we're not going to agree about everything. You know what I mean? I know you've been married for like 40 years, you know, so you already know that, you know what I mean, you're not going to agree with everything, you know what I mean? But that doesn't necessarily mean that every disagreement has to be an argument, like you said. That doesn't mean that, you know what I mean, every argument has to be disrespectful, you know? I mean, because we're all people. We all have our own emotions and everything else. And sometimes, you know, and it goes back to the way you say things and how you say things and the way you come across, you know. Sometimes people like, listen, man, like, you're not my mother, you're not my father, you know what I mean? You're not going to talk to me in such a way, and sometimes it's best just to walk away. Everybody get a cool hit, then you come back, sit down, and be like, I didn't appreciate the way you said such and such. I didn't appreciate this, and then you go ahead and get whatever the problem is resolved. It goes all the way back to communication. But if you have interpersonal relationship or interpersonal problems that you have never gotten over, you know what I mean? It's gonna affect the way that you relate with this other person that you want to love, that you want to be with. And sometimes those and those childhood traumas play a major role in your relationships as an adult. You know, and I don't want to, carry you on along, but in our community, man, there's a lot of trauma that goes on with us as children, that we're not taught to go talk. We're taught, oh, you go talk to your friends. But if your friends went through the same trauma and they never got over it, how they gonna guide you? And growing up, if you don't go away to college and see something else, see how somebody else lives, and then be able to come back and form like, hey man, maybe I need to change, or maybe I need to do this, or so on and so forth, because this behavior that I'm portraying is detrimental, not only to myself but to the people that I love. And unless you start to look at yourself, and as long as you can communicate with people, basic communication, you know what I mean, you will get a long way in life. You will get much further with being able to communicate than you will be with education.
Before I let you go, you've heard that old saying, "Is chivalry dead?" I remember my mother used to smack me on the back of the head if I didn't open the door for her. I'd be scared every time I come to the door. I'd be like, "Let me run and get the door," because she'd be like, "Pop," and how we would when we grew up, you would hear the thing like if it was like water or like a puddle, a brother would lay his coat down, be like, "I'll lay my coat down. You can walk on my coat," and stuff like that. Do you think we need to start training our black young brothers to start the chivalry days again, just to show the black woman love? Because all they're getting right now is bitches and hoes, and popping pills and drinking lean and the rap music, and our culture was a little different. You know what I mean? So what do you think about that?
Yeah. Amen. That's very powerful, man. My cousin always says, man, you know what I mean? A lot of these dudes need man training. I follow, and Judge Joe Brown, he talks about it a lot. You know what I mean? On I don't know if you follow him, but he talks about it a lot, man. A lot of these young brothers need man training. My mother used to do the same thing. I don't know about her hitting me in the back of the head, but we would go somewhere and she would just stand there and wait for me to open the door. So I'm standing there, I'm thinking that the door locked, and she like, "You gonna open the door? What?" You know what I mean? And like you said, when you go to get in the car, open up the door. My wife gets on me now. You know what I mean? When we go to cross the street, you're supposed to be on this side. So, you know what I mean? You'll protect me if a car comes through or what have you. She still gets on me now. But yes, I agree that, yeah, man, we need to do that. But at the same time, while we were being trained on how to treat a woman inside the home, while we were outside, you know what I mean, with our fathers, our grandfathers, our uncles, our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunts, were training the girls on how to treat a man. And we need to get back to that. We need to teach them, you know what I mean? This is how you treat a woman. This is how you treat a man. This is what you do in a relationship. This is how you handle things. This is how you talk to each other. This is how you build trust. And those things are gone because, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, we have a lot of single parents that are very distrustful, you know what I mean, of the opposite sex. So they teach their kids to be distrustful.
Right.
Either directly or indirectly.
Right. I'm sorry. It's just such a powerful conversation, and the brother was so funny when he was tripping. You know what I mean? So I had to trip off of him.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the issues that we have, like you said, with man training. What about our sisters? Do you think they need to go through some things as far as how to deal with the black man? And like you said, we all have roles. Do you think we just need classes for men, women to have roles for each other to succeed? And do you think our sisters need more training? You know, how to dance maybe more properly, how to look for a certain type of person, how not to settle for an ignorant or a no good Negro. What do you think about that?
I just seen a message pop up like saying the same thing. True, but women need training as well. But I think that yes, that's what I was saying. You know, I didn't personally, I didn't know because like growing up, you know what I mean, in my grandmother's house, for instance, we got sent outside to be with my grandfather. So my grandfather would talk to us, tell us this and tell us that. It wasn't until like I grew up, you know what I mean, sitting around with my sister, my female cousins, they were like, oh, grandma used to tell us this, and grandma used to say you had to do this, and grandma, they were trained, they were taught, and even not only, you know what I mean, and this is a phenomenon that still goes on. You go back to Africa, you go back to Nigeria, you go back to Uganda, you go back to South Africa, you go over to Saudi Arabia, you go over to European countries. They teach these young girls and these women, this is how you treat a man. They teach the boys, this is how you treat a woman. This is what a father does. This is what a man does. This is what a provider does, you know? And like you said, you know what I mean? You want a strong woman. You know what I mean? You want a strong woman on your side. You don't want a strong woman telling you, you know what I mean? Oh, you got to do this and you got to do that. You got what most men want. Baby, you know what? I found out that such and such and this and that. Maybe you should look into this. Someone there to help guide you without, you know what I mean, feeling. No one wants to feel as though, you know what I mean, they're coming home, you know what I mean, to their mother yelling at them. No one wants to feel as though they're coming home to their father yelling at them. Communication, basic communication. But yes, man, training. So then you can provide a home, a loving home for your children to see what parenthood is when you have a mother and a father and they work together to make sure that you're safe, to make sure that, you know what I mean, that you get the education that you need, you get the love that you need, you get the basic common sense that you need when you leave from out of the house. From both sides, the men need training, the women need training. They both need counseling at this point. You know what I mean? Like the brother, like the first, you know what I mean? Some people are said we're all set in our ways. You know what I mean? And it's a process to change those type of behaviors. It's a process for every time somebody says something to you, you feel as though you got to cuss them out. You know, that you're not going to wake up tomorrow and just be like, all right, I'm done with that. You know, that's just not going to happen. It's a process. It's a process that when somebody says, you know what I mean, oh, no, I can't come over, I got this and this to do, that you don't feel as though that person is just blowing you off or they cheating on you or they seeing somebody else. Sometimes people just have other things to do. We have to start to look at the things that go on inside of us that cause us to react to these situations in these ways. And once you get that healing, once you're able to go on from there, then you'll be able to spot that other person. And then y'all can start to build together, and then you can raise your kids, man. Because, like I said, man, some of these things, man, even some of these kids, man, it's 25, 30, man. Yeah, man, they can change. But the attitudes that they have today and the relationships and the broken relationships they have today are caused by something that they seen when they were 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. These things got set into them years ago. So it's going to take years to change it.
Let me ask you, and I'm sorry, brother. I know you've been on for a minute. I'm about to let you go. Let me ask you this one thing. You talk about it's going to take a long time to change. How do we go about starting this process? Because clearly, from watching that lady, and her name is Real Dana. Go support her channel on YouTube. It's Real Dana. And brother Jat is Minister Jat. He's not a real minister. And if you missed it, we played this video in the beginning how he's talking about. I mean, it's hilarious. And Milan J. Rich is hilarious. The brother is, and they going at it, but we running out of time. Like we gotta start making things happen now. What do we do as a community? How can we as a community just start this thing rolling?
Teach your grandkids. Start teaching your grandkids right now. Start teaching your grandkids right now exactly how you treat other people. Start teaching kids how you talk to an adult and how you talk to a child. Start teaching your grandkids how to communicate what it is that they want and what it is that they need. Start teaching your grandkids to know who they are. Start teaching your grandkids to communicate. Have your grandkids teach your great grandkids how to talk, how to interact with the people, how to treat the people, how to look at themselves and how they see themselves. Start teaching your nephews. Start teaching and your uncles still single and still cussing people out every weekend. That go to church on Sunday. But by the time you get out in the parking lot and somebody don't park too close to them, they come out. You know what I mean? We have to get counseling, man. We have to get past like this trauma. You have to start now. You have to start looking into yourself. Go to the bookstore, man. Go to Google Books. Go to Apple Books. Get a self-help book and just sit down and start reading. You know what I mean? Reading. Actually having a sit down and have a real honest conversation with yourself about your own behavior and how that behavior. Have that conversation with your friends, and you know what I mean. And if your friends can't help you, and if your friends are pulling you to keep on being like the same person, change your friends. It's very critical. It is very critical. You know what I mean, for us to make dramatic changes. Absolutely, positively, no society, no group of people have ever overcome their own burdens, problems, troubles, oppression without some type of sacrifice.
And before I let you go, Jay Rich, someone must have been a couple of people have messaged me, and I guess they came on late. So what I want to do is I want to play that video and then have you close out on this ignorance real quick. So hold on real quick for all of those that didn't see this. If you didn't see this, brother, here you go. It is going to be something to behold. Hold on 1 second.
I think we got to do a live show about the nature of the black woman, man. She's selfish. All of the moves she makes in life is to benefit her. You know what I'm saying? Black woman wouldn't die for her people, die for her country, die for her kids. She'll kill her kids before she dies for them. If I of a single mother who got her titties and her booty done, that should let you know that you don't love your kids. You only love dick and cheap liquor. And the nature of you is the reason why you made that choice so willingly, because that's your fucking nature, to be a selfish whore. Soon as you play Cash Money and take it over in front of start shaking, it don't matter. You hoes a twerk at church. You hoes a twerk at funeral. You hoes a twerk at a graduation. You hoes a twerk in the doctor's office, the abortion clinic. We have to tame these women and go against their natural nature, just like you would a dog, a doggy. You have to train that dog so that that dog don't piss his shit on the carpet. And the way that you train that dog is when it pisses and shits on the carpet, you take that dog's nose and you push it into the shit. And that's what we doing. We pushing y'all face into y'all shit. Because we gotta tame y'all. Just like a wild dog. And you gotta get trained. A lot of y'all hoes don't even have the basics. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even have the basics. You should feel ashamed that white women clutch their purse when you around. Mexican women clutch their purse when you're around. Like, damn. Y'all have turned into the stereotypical black man. Y'all frighten people when you come around. And no man had to coach you to do that, ask you to do that. You wanted to do that. You made that choice. It's your brother, man, Minister Jack, man.
That you're also responsible for your child.
I'm sorry, I want to bring in a little bit. I'm gonna play a sister. His name is Minister Jack, and I'm gonna play a little bit of the sister that goes at him, and I'll bring Jay Rich back in to close out.
Black men and women were lynched, were murdered, and black women were raped for doing what? For what? For bad behavior? No, because the white man knew he could do it.
Right.
Because you had no nothing. So let's forward it now to 2019. Nothing had changed. But the sad part, and I need for us to focus on this. The sad part is black men like yourself, because a whole lot of y'all like that think like you are giving that white man a pass and not putting your foot in their ass, not just physically, but everywhere else. But you want to blame the white woman. You keep saying we won't let you keep asking for permission to leave your house, to leave your community. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on why are we the only culture to where men is not a strong presence in the community.
Let's deal with that.
Why do you keep saying they won't let us? Why do you feel that you need permission from me, from black women, from whitey, from whoever to do the job you were born to do?
That's a good damn question there, Jack. Let's go.
So while they went in, I'm going to bring my brother Jay Rich back in. For those that tuned in late, hopefully you saw that video. Hopefully it played better. But, man, brother, that's deep conversation right there. That's deep conversation. And we got to change our outlook. And the sister made some good points, but we still got to change some of the outlooks that she made because it's generalizing all of us. You know what I mean? So closing out, brother, another powerful show. Just close out and give me your thoughts.
Until men and women start acting like men and women and communicating effectively as to what it is they want, what it is that they're looking for in a relationship, and identifying the behaviors that they exhibit themselves, and start making a serious change, man, we're going to continue this cycle. The sad part is that either directly or indirectly, you know what I mean, we're bringing children into this same cycle. You don't have to sit back and tell your child your father ain't nothing because they hear you when you say it on the phone. You don't have to tell your children that their mother isn't anything because they hear you say it when you're on the phone. They hear you say it when you talk around other people. Until we start changing that narrative, man, we're training them to follow in the same suit.
Yeah,
that's
man.
It, man. Communication, man. Communication. If you are in a relationship that isn't working, then get out of it. Period. Get out of it. You know, stop generalizing everybody as being punks and hoes. If you're in a situation that you don't want to be in, get out of it. As soon as you see that it's not working, walk away. There's a billion people on this planet, over a billion people on this planet. There's got to be somebody else out there for you. And if not, something's wrong with you.
Jay Rich, if someone wants you to speak to their kids or their he's a Muslim, but their congregation, how can they contact you?
Send a message through Truth and Power, man, and you know what I mean, you let me know, and we try to make it happen. It's been a lot of comments popping up, man. Them videos, man, have been off the chain. And we can see. I mean, I'm not really a public speaker, but we can see whatever we can work out.
That'll work. And that is Real Truth and Power at Gmail. Real Truth and Power at gmail.com. Brother J. Rich, I appreciate you. Hold up, brother. That's peace. And I'll be talking to you soon.
Steelers all day, baby.
Bye. Well, that was my brother Jay Rich. We had another phenomenal show, and I just hope that what we trying to do is bring the community together. And there are ignorance in women and men. And unless we can sit at the table with other races, we got to start fixing some of the issues within ourselves. So we want to talk about these topics: religion, relationships, and all of these things. And that will bring us better as a community. And Brother Jay Rich is always dropping jewels of knowledge. I can't wait till the next show where we have him on. And it's very important that, we talk about these things. There's no progress without struggle for our community, but we have to do better. We have to do better with each other. We got to love each other better. We got to care for each other better. We got to do a lot of things better as a community. And when we do those things, I think we'll be okay. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, making your comments. Sorry about the technical difficulty earlier. And a lot of people are saying we need to come in later on Saturdays, but I'll try to see next Saturday we get Brother Jay Rich, and we'll try to go at 8 o'clock because a lot of people say they couldn't do it at 7. But I thank you, and thank you for the caller that called in. Once again, another powerful show. By the way, before I let you go, there's a free conference. I got to keep telling you guys this. There's a free conference by Dr. Casual Pitts in May. It's called the Mayhem in May. The Mayhem in May. It's going to be 30 speakers on 30 different days. So you guys want to tune in. It is free. It is free. So go check out our YouTube link or our Facebook page and look for the interview with Dr. Casual Pitts. I believe it's My Empire. I don't want to give you the wrong website. I thought I had it, but we definitely want to help our brother out. He has a phenomenal platform where he's giving powerful knowledge and, stuff like that. So we definitely want to bring him in. We got a lot of powerful shows. Also, if you know any actresses, we just interviewed my sister Taquita. She has an entertainment management company, and she's doing phenomenal things for managing businesses and also managing entertainers. And they're looking for actresses in the new movie coming out that she's going to be involved in. So they're looking for actresses. Hopefully this shutdown is over. And man, again, thank you for tuning in. Another powerful show. We just blessed to have everybody on board. The podcast is really growing. Please hit that like, hit that share. If you're on YouTube, definitely hit the like. And if you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube because we're going to be giving away free gifts. We're going to be giving away free shirts, the Real Truth and Power shirts, free gear, conscious gear to represent your community. So go on to YouTube, subscribe, and hit the alert bell. And the next time we go on, if you're on there, I think YouTube is going to start doing promotions for us where you can win a prize. So I want to thank everybody again for tuning in. Man, please make sure that we all are practicing that social distance. You know what I mean? And that brother, all I can do is shake my head to Minister Jack. He's a wild guy, man, but he's definitely entertaining. That's for sure. He's definitely entertaining. So, again, Hotep, peace and blessings. Man, we out of here. That was Brother Jay Rich. Stay tuned. He got a lot of positive things coming up for you, and he's building his platform, so you guys are going to really be into it. And I'm out of here. One love. Thank you for tuning into the Real Truth and Power podcast, where we provide powerful content to uplift the Black community with health, wealth, and knowledge of self. Stay tuned for more podcasts. Please like and share. Let's fight to build our community up so we can get on that same level as other communities. The word race is just that, a race, a game.